BTFU.
And we're back at the Village Inn in Paddington for this week's football show, BTFU FC. Danny, welcome back.
Morning, Glyn.
Geez, a lot's happened in a week, isn't it?
Oh, it's been crazy. Hard to keep up with, eh?
A lot of games. Oh, we've had the finalisation of the Champions League. It's City play Real Madrid.
Yep.
And the two Milan teams play each other.
Yep.
But what a morning of games we had this morning.
Yeah.
Your mob Arsenal. Come on, tell us what happened. Man City 4,
obviously,
Arsenal 1.
Very disappointing this morning. I was crying into my cornflakes.
Come on, tell us what you really... What are they doing wrong, Arsenal? What did they do wrong when they went there?
Yeah, I just think City's class just shone through today. I was thinking about this driving in today, and I don't think Arsenal have actually got any world-class players at the moment. They've got a couple, 2 or 3, Saka...
Ramsdale, definitely.
Yeah. That potentially could be, but at the moment, they're not world-class. Whereas you look at City's team, they've got half a dozen world-class players.
And another half a dozen on the bench.
Yeah. And then, so when Arsenal come up against the team, they're okay against everyone else. You know, they can compete. But City were just next level, weren't they?
Jeez, but I mean, look, they've been knocking everyone off their, out of their way in the lead up to this game, but the last 3 games they've dropped, or the last 4 games they've dropped 2 points against Liverpool, 2 points against West Ham.
Yeah,
they scrambled a point against Southampton when they went 3-1 down, so they dropped another 2 points there. They've dropped 3 points here.
Yeah,
so that's 9 points in the last 4 games they've dropped. They looked almost untouchable before that.
Yeah. So
it's hard to say. It's hard to say they're choking, but Jesus.
Yeah, I think everyone's talking about, and it's obviously a massive issue, is that Saliba's not playing. Because if you look at the last few games, 2 goals against Liverpool, 3 goals against Bournemouth, 2 goals against West Ham, 4 goals today against Man City.
In fairness, though, to Saliba or to Rob Holding, who's taken it, I don't think anybody that had to play against Haaland and De Bruyne today would have had a hope in hell. They were unbelievable.
Yeah, they were. For me, I think this City team is one of the best ever in the Premier League. They're that good.
Yeah, and they have been for 5 years, haven't they?
Yeah, but I just think they're even better this season. Obviously, with bringing Haaland in. Kevin De Bruyne got man of the match today, obviously, because he was amazing, 2 goals. But Haaland's hold-up play is just unbelievable.
He's next level, isn't he? When he starts that run and he gets his arms going, I mean, you were a defender. You said you were really quick from point A to B. How would you go about stopping a bloke like him?
I'd probably just fake an injury, hopefully get taken off. Yeah, I mean, he's a giant. It would have been interesting to see how Saliba had gone against him, because Rob Holding.
No chance.
I don't want to say he's not good enough, but he's not good enough for Arsenal, unfortunately.
But tell me about the tactics that you saw. When I watched the game, Arsenal's threat comes down the wings. Martinelli on one side, Saka on the other. They weren't even in the game. When they play against Liverpool, Martinelli scares the pants out of you every time he's got the ball. He's going to cross something or score. Against City, they just completely nullified it. What did Pep do to stop that happening?
So what happened, Arsenal played a high pressing game to try and stop City coming out, like playing out from Alisson.
Yeah.
So Arsenal were really pushing up, but then City knew this was going to happen. Pep would have been prepared for this, and they were just basically bypassing those the forwards and almost starting from the middle of the pitch, and Arsenal just couldn't create anything. Saka was very disappointing. Martinelli didn't really do anything.
You look at the midfield 3 or it's probably 4 for City. You got Rodri. You got Haaland.
Yep.
Not Haaland. De Bruyne, Grealish.
Yep.
And who's on the other side? But in comparison, Arsenal, they don't have the quality to get to grips with the game, because that's where the game's won and lost, isn't it? In the middle.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, your best players are normally straight through the middle of the pitch. You know, they call it the spine. So that's your 2 centre backs, your 2 centre midfields, and your striker. Well, not many people play with 2 now, but used to back in the day. So that's usually where your best players are, and obviously you want them on the ball as much as possible. But yeah, Arsenal. I mean, I look at their team and I think, the squad, and I think what they've done so far is pretty amazing, really, because they're such a young team. And if they can buy, I think they need maybe 5 or 6 top quality players, not average players.
If you drop Declan Rice into Arsenal's midfield, would it make a big difference for him?
Definitely, yeah. I don't think he'll go there, though.
Because he'd be a big upgrade on Partey, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Partey's been great, but he was off again. He was off today. I think I don't know if you saw him and Grealish were having a bit of handbags throughout the game. Yeah. Grealish he's again one of those players you love to hate. You love him in your team, but
you don't want to be facing him.
Yeah, he's just a wind-up merchant.
Yeah. Well, they were just too strong for Arsenal, unfortunately. Arsenal seem to have lost their way a bit. It's now got to be Man City's title to win. Can they win the treble?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, if they play like they did today, they'll win the treble easily. But there's still, they've got to play 8 games still.
Yeah. Arsenal
have got to play 5. Is that right? No, two games, sorry. Arsenal have got to play 6. Anything can happen. You never know. City have got Fulham away this week. That won't be easy.
You've almost got as much hope as I've got of Liverpool jumping in the top 4. But talking about Liverpool, look, I think City are nailed on to probably win the treble. I think I don't know if they'll beat. If they win the treble, they've got to beat Real Madrid. But geez, that'll be a tough one.
If they play like they did today, I think they'll comfortably beat Real Madrid. I know that Real Madrid are obviously a better team than Arsenal, but they're just flying high on confidence.
But roles will be reversed against Real Madrid. So today, you could see Arsenal went there as a bag of nerves.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been there and done it before in the Premier League. Flip side, in the Champions League, you're going to coming up against Real Madrid, who've won it 13 times.
Yeah.
And City haven't won it yet. Well, do you think City will go there with a mindset like Arsenal did, or will they just go out and attack Real Madrid?
They've got so much experience in their team. Every player is pretty much an international.
Yeah.
And they've got the best manager in the world, in my opinion. Who's pretty much been there and done everything. So I don't think they're going to be nervous at all.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Yeah.
But getting back to the games this morning, Liverpool beat West Ham 2-1 away.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'd love to see the win against the name, but geez, they were lucky.
Yeah, West Ham.
They deserved to win the game, but late in the game was a handball shout on Thiago.
Yeah.
He fell over and he was putting his arm down, and it looked like it was a penalty all day.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones where they seem to be given all season. I'm just going to have to check the rule out because I'm not sure if your hand is on the ground whether it doesn't count. But if not, then
but it wasn't on the ground. He was falling.
Yeah, dead set penalty.
It ricocheted off his arm onto the ground and then back onto his arm again. So
David Moyes was going off his head. Did you see him at the end? and also the second goal, for Liverpool. Is it Matip?
Oh, what a header!
Yeah, but
why? Okay, here I'm going to ask you this question. So it's a set piece.
Yeah.
When you were playing in professional footy beforehand, why would West Ham have put Benrahma up against Matip when there's about at least a 6 or 8 inch height difference?
Yeah.
And then he just let Matip run into the box and score a header without being challenged.
Yeah.
Is that zonal marking or what is that?
Well, I'm not sure how they do it, but back when I was playing, you'd work on set pieces all through the week, and then before the game in the changing room, you'd have your whiteboard in the changing room on the wall, and it would have who you're meant to be picking up at set pieces.
Is that because there was no technology back when you were playing?
Like black and white TV. So yeah, I mean it's pretty ridiculous for Benrahma to be marking him. It was like just a free header, a great header.
And it was a great header, wasn't it? Because he almost scored the corner that preceded that.
Yeah.
They scrambled it off the line and it never went in.
Yeah, defending. There's a lot of shocking defending going on at the moment. Most of it from Arsenal.
I was listening to ESPN, and Stevie Nicol was saying that you got all these defenders that are great on the ball and they can pass the ball 40 yards and they got all this technical ability. He said, but most of them can't defend.
Yeah.
He said it's like a lost art, defending.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the game's changed so much. It's all about passing and keeping the ball on the ground, and the game's obviously not as physical now. Back in the day, defenders were able to intimidate players by the fact that if you're a striker and you know you've got, say, Tony Adams coming,
he's going to take your legs
just
out. Yeah.
break your legs and just not even get a yellow. So it's a different game.
Yeah. Oh, well, technology moves on. But what about... Oh, here we go. What are we going to say about poor old Chelsea? Losing 2-0 away at Brentford. So they've lost 5 games under...
No, Chelsea were at home.
So Chelsea were at home.
Yeah,
That's right.
even worse.
Even worse. Are they going to offer to give the ticket price back to the fans like Spurs have done? But okay, here's a stat: Lampard's win percentage in 2023.
I actually heard this on the radio. 0.
Yeah, 0 win percent. He hasn't won a game as a manager in 2023. He's got 1 point. He's got 1 point since he's joined back with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay. In all fairness, he's pushing shit uphill, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, they've still got good players, but yeah, I mean, he's won one game in his last 19 across all the different clubs he's been at. This is what I was speaking to you like in the first podcast about how these coaches just keep getting a job.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I don't think there'll be too many people knocking on his door.
No.
And a great 3 points for Forest. They jump out the relegation zone. They beat Brighton at home.
Yeah.
Good result for them.
Yeah, saw the highlights for this. Forest were definitely up for it. Brighton probably a bit of a hangover
They missed
from
the penalty, didn't they?
Forest.
Yeah.
I think he got it on the rebound, did he? The first one? I'm not sure. I'll have to check that.
But great result for Forest.
Brighton probably a bit hungover from their loss in the FA Cup on the weekend.
Oh, well, they were always going to lose that, weren't they? Talking about managers like Lampard and people giving... Pochettino going to Chelsea. He's going to replace Lampard.
Yep.
They'd need him now, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he'd probably, if they were going okay, he'd probably come straight in. But he's probably thinking now, if I come in now and we lose the next 5 games, then, you know, it's not going to look good on him. He'll probably want to start fresh, get a nice pre-season under his belt.
If they do lose the next 5 games, there's only 6 left, I think, for Chelsea. If they do lose the next, can they stay up? They got 39 points, so they're 1 point short of the magic 40, which is your level to stay up. Can they go down? No, they can't.
But they could, yeah. Stranger things have happened. Obviously, Chelsea being relegated would be unbelievable, but they're in a massive hole at the moment.
Pochettino coming will be, if he comes in next year, it'll be too good for them.
Yeah.
Too good. Well, let's have a look at last weekend's games. We've spoken about Arsenal dropping points against Southampton, but Saka rescued them with a goal in the 90th minute. There was, 8 or 9 minutes of... They looked like they were going to actually go on to win it, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, the last 20 minutes was pretty crazy, wasn't it? It was good to see them show a bit of fight and get back, but obviously lots of mistakes again. Ramsdale gave them the first goal. Some more shocking defending. And really, you got, as we said last week, you've got to be beating Southampton at home.
That's right, yeah. It was our highlight game last week. No one saw that. We thought Newcastle would probably win.
Yeah.
Do you think they were going to be 5 goals up after 20 minutes?
No, definitely not. I watched most of this game, and the atmosphere was unbelievable. I was actually thinking next time I go back to England, I'd love to go and
St James's
watch
Park.
a game there. Yeah, because the Toon Army are just mental, aren't they?
They only got one team in that city, and they all. It's like everyone's in.
Just looks like a great club to be at the moment. You know, I heard two of the guys interviewed on the radio yesterday, and they were just both Brazilian, saying how happy they were. The people are amazing. So,
not so happy with the weather. Gets a bit cold up there, doesn't it?
I think the money just
bypasses that.
Yeah.
Liverpool get past Forest. Luckily, I reckon again.
Yeah.
They can't defend, surely.
Liverpool, yeah.
What's happened to Van Dijk? He used to be like imperial. Nobody could get past him.
Yeah.
Now he looks like he's just going through the motions. He doesn't even look like he's making challenges.
Yeah, he does seem to just look like he's playing a training game, doesn't he? Doesn't seem to get a sweat on.
No urgency about it.
He's had a few injuries. He might have just lost that yard of pace, you know. And once you've done that, it's a different game because you can't get to where you think you should be.
Yeah. Well,
but it was a good win for them.
It was a good win.
Yeah.
They've won the last 3 games, so that's good for them. Everton get their point against Palace away, which is a good result because Palace have been flying. Yeah. Leicester Wolves, the Midlands derby. Speak us through this one.
Yeah, Wolves are. I fancied Wolves in this one. You know, they've been on a bit of a run. Costa's been causing havoc. But Leicester just managed to get over the line. Obviously a big win for them, for the new manager.
They talk about a big win. West Ham thumping Bournemouth 4-0.
Yes. I actually backed Bournemouth in this for a straight-out win. And I woke up, put my phone on, and it was 4-0 at half-time. So
that was game over.
Not very good. So that was a surprising result because Bournemouth, again, had a bit of form, hadn't they? So you probably would have got 1,000,000 to 1 for it to be 4-0 at half time to West Ham.
Yeah, maybe West Ham used their VAR good luck.
Yeah.
In that game, they didn't have any against Liverpool. Brentford Villa 1-1. Surprising, I thought it looked a draw, didn't it, on paper?
Yeah, this wasn't much of a game, to be honest. It was a bit sort of flat, cagey.
Leeds and Leicester fought out a 1-1 draw as well.
Yeah, just on that one. I don't know if I watched this one yesterday. So Patrick Bamford had a chance in the last minute.
I said was it last minute or two?
It was in the injury time, I think, yeah.
I mean, all he had to do was
hit came across, target. He was at the back post, and he just had to tap it in and put it wide, and you could see the look on his face.
He put it high and wide, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, how costly is that going to be at the end of the season?
It could be very costly for them. Villa then come back and get a 1-0 win against Fulham, and Wolves beat Palace 2-0.
Yeah, I watched some of that one. Costa played really well. Didn't get a goal, but he was causing havoc.
You love Costa, don't you?
Oh, I just like people who
He's a
got
bulldog.
passion, you know.
He's a bulldog, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously Palace have been going really good, so that was a big win for them.
Yeah. Oh, that's the games that have been. What about the games that are coming? What do you like coming up this week?
Yeah, I think...
they're coming thick and fast.
I know, it's hard to keep up, isn't it?
We've got games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. So I reckon the pick of the round, probably Spurs v Man United at Tottenham Stadium. That one is on Friday morning at 5:15 a.m.
Are the fans going for free?
I don't think they'll get free tickets at home, but yeah, they obviously refunded their tickets for Newcastle
That's
game.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's only because there was 3,000 or 4,000 of them going up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good gesture, but doesn't really mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything.
No.
You'd rather pay your money and watch your team play well.
Yeah, or just put some effort in. That's the main thing people want to see when they're spending money. And these season tickets are expensive, you know, and they see these guys on 2, 3, 4, whatever 100,000 a week, and not even
put in.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then the other big game this week, appetising, Man U again against Villa.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
That will be a good game. All right.
But other than that, they're all... I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some amazing games as well. Bournemouth Leeds, that's going to be a tussle down the bottom. Could be vital for the relegation. And also we've got Liverpool Spurs. So Spurs have got Man United and Liverpool this weekend. They play Friday morning and then Sunday...
Gee, that's a big turnaround, isn't it?
Sunday, yeah.
Well, I suppose they're all coming thick and fast because of the congestion because of the World Cup in between. But gee, some great football to be had.
Sorry, Glyn, just the last one. Arsenal-Chelsea on.
It's a good game.
That's next Wednesday. Obviously, Arsenal have got a bit of a break now for.
They got a week off, haven't they?
Pretty much a week, yeah.
Can they patch things up in a week?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I heard Arteta talk on the radio this morning, and he said, the guys will be down and we can't do anything about that today, but then tomorrow we just start again.
Regroup.
And obviously Chelsea are having a
nightmare.
Yeah, hopefully they just don't turn it around against Arsenal.
Well, I think that's a wrap for as much as we can cover this week. Hope you've subscribed, liked and shared as much as you can. Send us an email if you've got any questions for Danny or I, and we'll be glad to answer that for you. And until next time, keep watching BTFU.